Hi there. One of the ways to be great at anything is to copiously consume the literature of the top 5 greatest people in that area. And I'll give you 3 examples. There's a man called J. Ceylon Taylor. He eventually became a very successful rapper, selling over 20 million copies. And I'll tell you his story. He applied the same principle. He was a gangbanger. He belonged to a gang called the Los Angeles Crips, and he was shot 5 times, almost died. And his brother said, enough of gangbanging. Choose a more noble profession, become a rapper. And you know what his brother did? His brother bought him the classic albums, hip-hop albums, and told him, listen to this, study it, learn from these classic rappers, these great rappers, and then craft and build a pattern for yourself. So his brother bought him classic albums like Illmatic from Nas, Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z, All Eyes on Me by Tupac, Life After Death by Notorious B.I.G., Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg, Chronic by Dr. Dre, Coming Out Hard by 8Ball and MJG, classic albums, and he just went and listened to those albums and listened to them. See, hold up. I know you're enjoying the video, but guess what? I'm facilitating a class on how to reprogram the subconscious. I'm going to use a lot of stories that people can relate with, real life stories. This is going to be very, very practical. So do you want to change negative patterns? Do you want to break free from limiting thoughts and limiting belief systems? I'm going to use my life as an example. I bedwetted until I was 16. I was able to break free from that. I came out of 2 years of suicidal thoughts. I was able to break free from that. I went on to memorize 14 books of the Bible. I went on to build amazing habits, fasting every day for 10 years, build amazing habits in my life that I'm very proud of. And I want to show you some of the principles in reprogramming the subconscious. If you want to be part of this training, scan the QR code. And I have another training I'm doing as well. It's called How Individuals Become Institutions. Now, I have studied 500 of the most important companies in the world over the last 100 years. And I have put together the most exciting research I have ever done. A 4-hour presentation on how individuals become institutions. In every sector in the world, every sector, 4 companies dominate the sector, control 80% of everything that goes on in that sector. I'll give you an example. In the automobile industry, it's dominated by Toyota, Volkswagen, BMW, and Hyundai. In the food industry, it's controlled by PepsiCo and Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, Mondelez, and Monsanto. Then, in the beauty sector, it's controlled by 4 companies: L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, Johnson & Johnson, and Procter & Gamble. In the media world, it's controlled by 4 companies. You have Disney, Time Warner, Comcast, Viacom, and News Corporation, and so on and so forth. But I want to show you how these companies started from individuals to become companies that dominate entire industries. It's a training that is not only necessary for people who are in the corporate sector. If you are a parent, if you are a student, you need to have this. I wish I'd known this when I was 20 years younger, 25, 30 years younger. It would have made my life a whole lot better. So you are drawing from decades and centuries of experience. I recommend this training for everybody who is interested in succeeding and knowing how to maximize time. How individuals become institutions. How individuals become institutions. It's a 4-hour presentation. I'm giving you nothing but facts, showing you in a storyline format how individuals become institutions. You will love it. So if you're interested, scan the QR code. Bye for now, and back to the video. Just listen to the best in the business that had ever done it. Listen to me. Do you want to be a great interviewer? Ask yourself, who are the 5 greatest interviewers of the last 100 years? You come up with names like Larry King, Howard Stern, Christian Amanpour, Steven Sako, Riz Khan. You come up with names like Barbara Walters. If you now say, okay, I'm going to listen to the top 100 interviews Larry King has done, top 100 interviews that Barbara Walters have done. Barbara Walters was so great that interviewers will say, how come you know that detail about me? How come you know these facts? Because she said, I studied people to get even information that they did not know about themselves. And whenever she will interview people, she will say, oh, that's an amazing question. That's a beautiful question. That's a great question. That's a great question. She copiously studied. So you can say, okay, I'm going to study Barbara Walters' best 100 interviews. I'm going to do the same thing for Steven Sako at BBC, Christian Amanpour at CNN. I'm going to do the same thing for Riz Khan at Al Jazeera and study these people. Guess what? By the time you study 100 of the best interviews from 5 of the best interviewers, you have studied 500 of the best interviews. Guess what? You will never remain the same. Your life can never remain the same. Let's say you want to become a great boxer. And that was what Mike Tyson did. Mike Tyson wanted to become the greatest knockout puncher of all time. What did he do? He studied the greatest knockout matches of all time, 200 of them, copiously watching it one after the other, copiously watching it. Because let me tell you something, greatness is contagious. Greatness is infectious. When you do so, you will learn. Look at, and that was the principle that Gaddafi adopted. Gaddafi wanted to become a leader in Libya. What did he do? One of the greatest leaders in the Arab world that time was Al Nasser, president of Egypt. And he would just listen to Al Nasser every day, every morning. listen to Al-Nasser, listen to Al-Nasser, listen to Al-Nasser. And then he was able to imbibe a playbook, a formula, a model, and apply that playbook. Led his nation for 40 years. Very few people have led their nations for as long as that. Why? Because he applied that principle, copiously consuming the literature, material, and content of the best people in that area. That was what he did. So let's assume that you want to be a great events planner. You should be studying people like Christine Banter. You want to be a great interior designer. You will be studying people like Kelly Wessler. You want to be a great makeup artist. You should be studying people like Bobby Brown, Pat McGrath. You should be studying these people, copiously studying them to a fault, studying them to a fault. And that's how people become great at what they do. You want to become a great public speaker. You should ask yourself, first of all, who are the top 5 public speakers in the world? You come up with names like Carmen Gallo, David J.P. Phillips. They are the greatest teachers in public speaking, or the greatest authorities in public speaking. And if you do this, you find out that you end up being a great public speaker because you are copiously consuming their content, their literature, their books, their videos, and all that. I hope this works well for you. Do have an amazing day, and bye for now.
Hi there, I'm Adekomi Olusoya, publisher of the Immersion Bible, and I will get you addicted to the Word of God, line upon line, precept upon precept. If you would like access to any of my books, products, or services, scan the QR code after this and you will have access to that. Kemi sends her love as always. Do have an amazing day, and bye for now.